Well, hello, my dear companions, and welcome back to the Pillars of the Earth, Eye of the Storm, the third book in this series. Chapter 20. I only plan to record 2 videos today, chapter 18 and 19. But that ending, that cliffhanger on the last chapter, I just have to continue this. But I think I will upload 2 videos each day for this. What's happening in Kingsbridge? Why were the knights laughing? Is Kingsbridge under attack? Boom. Bring your favorite blanket, your favorite snack. Here we go.
The Pope believes we should either burn him or make him Bishop of Kingsbridge.
I have already taken matters into my own hands.
Waileran has done something.
My men arrested him while Kingsbridge was left unguarded.
While his friends took Earl's Castle.
Yes.
At least in his death, William Hamley was of use to you.
So while we went to Earl Castle, they snatched Philip. Oh boy. The end?
Look at all these people. It seems like they're enjoying themselves.
They never change. You drooling dogs should be ashamed!
Shut up, you old hag! Ellen?
I'm not feeling well.
I'll take care of you. You two go ahead. Hurry up!
Is your mother ill?
It's not that. This is
Yeah,
where they hanged my father.
it really reminds her of that. Oh boy.
The trial begins. The judges. Brother of Stephen, King of the English. The Right Reverend Bishop Henry of Winchester. Her Highness, the Countess Lady Aliena of Shiring.
That's good at least.
Presiding over the trial. The Right Reverend Bishop of Shiring and Kingsbridge. Waileran by God.
I want that man dead. I want him dead so bad.
Please. The church is not without fault. We have gathered here today before the eyes of God to accuse one of our own. He wrote in his book that the church and the papacy are not necessary as intercessors between God and man. That God is in man, that all men are equal, and that each sinner is as close to our Lord as the Pope himself. Now, we ask God for his judgment.
Of course the church wouldn't
For
like that
his is the kingdom,
idea.
the power, and the glory. Not ours, and not yours. You stand accused of heresy. Philip of Gwynedd, how do you plead?
But look, I have to choose.
Answer!
It's not heresy.
Respond to Bishop Waileran.
It's not. I don't think it's heresy.
I am not guilty.
Your teachings speak another language. Guilty, I say.
I am deeply saddened. It may come as a surprise to you, but we had hoped to make you Bishop of Kingsbridge. Why has it come to this, Philip?
In part, I am to blame. I supported Philip in his early years.
Oh my.
I demand that Philip be removed from his position of prior immediately,
No!
and that he remain in captivity until such time that Shiring and all of England have healed from the poisonous words he has dispersed.
No!
Come on, Aliena. Do something. Accuse Weller himself without accusation. Right, Weller.
Do you not agree with the church as well?
Accuse
my lady?
Weller. Let's do it.
You are accusing Philip because he has defied you.
I made him prior, and grateful he was not. But no, I accuse him because his teachings are false. And I intend to prove that Philip's decisions have been more than misguided in the past. Call in Remigius.
Oh boy.
The Prior of Shiring,
Oh boy.
Father Remigius.
My bishop.
Tell the court, Remigius, what you have told me.
For many years, I served as sub-prior of Kingsbridge. First for Prior James, then for the accused.
What was your first impression of him?
I was offended by his bluntness and accusations during the chapter discussions.
What else?
Prior Philip did not hesitate to give refuge to the people fleeing Earl's Castle in the winter that our king died.
All our choices. All our choices we made.
Is that not a good deed? A true Christian act?
Yeah.
You do not know him as well as you think you do, Lady Aliena. Today, that will change.
The future master builder of our cathedral and his woman were among those taking refuge. They were living in sin. They were unmarried and fornicating. Philip allowed them to stay.
Why would he do that?
I do not know, my bishop.
Maybe because he himself was involved in similar affairs. We will see.
My
Then,
God.
on the day of our first fleece fair, we were attacked.
I heard. It was terrible.
I tried to soothe the woman's pain by reading the scripture to her. The builder's woman I have spoken of tried to put a spell on her with poisonous herbs.
Damn it.
And Philip intervened.
All these choices we made.
Yes. He pushed me aside and gave the woman poison.
Damn it. If we would have just picked
It
differently.
is worse than I thought.
It was no poison.
And then there was the day the Virgin Mary's statue arrived in Kingsbridge. I did not believe it was a miracle.
Well,
Clearly, it is a miracle. I hear of many who were healed in Kingsbridge.
that's one good part at least.
Well, I soon realized it was a true miracle, but Philip did not.
Wha-
He was only after the money people donated at the Virgin Shrine. That is why I left.
All these choices we made throughout the series.
I
It's coming
believe
back
there is
to us.
one more thing you have not told us about. Something very important.
Yes. Philip has fathered a child. A son.
What?
And he raised him in the priory.
Are you talking about Jonathan?
Jonathan of Kingsbridge,
Oh my
step
God.
forward.
Are you serious?
This is preposterous.
Is it?
That is not his
Is
child.
this true? Are you Philip's son?
No.
Answer the question,
Has
Jonathan
been
of
like a
Kingsbridge.
father to me. Been like a father to me.
Philip has always been like a father to me,
But
but he is not my father.
good, good.
How do you know that?
He told me.
And how do you know he spoke the truth?
Yeah, that's not strong enough to. Would never lie.
Speak.
Of course, he could be. No. He would never
Answer the
lie.
bishop.
He would never lie.
Philip would never lie. He told me that I was found in the woods.
In the woods.
You remember from the very, very
Is
first,
this true, Philip?
the very first chapter.
Or are you lying?
My brother found him in the
Well,
woods.
you told the story so many
He
times.
was abandoned in the woods. He was abandoned in the woods.
He was abandoned in the woods. My brother found him.
Your brother? Had he not been working for Earl Robert of Gloucester?
Yeah.
You have not seen him in a long time now, have you? Let us ask your brother if your stories are true.
What? He is alive. He is alive. Oh, Francis.
Francis, what happened to you?
This is not your fault.
We always...
He does this to hurt you.
Okay.
By God.
Francis of Gwynedd. He was arrested more than 15 years ago.
He's been in prison for 15 years.
He was arrested for conspiring against his own master, Earl Robert.
Remove the prisoner.
Weren't they supposed to
Philip
ask him?
told me himself, and I told Earl Robert. For God and the Church cannot take sides in these conflicts. Only one brother has been tried so far, but both of them conspired against Earl Robert. And his ally, Earl Bartholomew.
Oh my God.
Your father, Lady Aliena. Philip took in all those refugees years ago because he was to blame for their fate. As he was for yours when you lost your father and your earldom.
And we never told Aliena this.
That, Lady Aliena, is the man you are trying to protect.
Do not forgive
Well-
Philip. Forgive Philip. We're gonna forgive him.
I
We're gonna
know
forgive
that
him.
he is a troubled man. We've all had to make hard decisions. Decisions that seemed right at the time. When indeed, they were terrible mistakes. I am thankful that I was forgiven when I made a mistake. Now I forgive him. Let us now return to the problem at hand. There is a man who witnessed how Jonathan was found in the forest. A man who can shed light on who Jonathan's father really is.
Jack?
And who is that?
Jack?
My husband.
Step forward.
Because remember, in the very first
What is
chapter,
your name?
we saw that.
He is
Jack.
the master builder of Kingsbridge.
Jack Jackson.
Have you lost your courage?
No, I have not. You know well why it would be hard for me to face you. They call me Jack, after my father. My name is Jack Jackson.
Yes, we have met before.
How old were you when you allegedly saw Jonathan as a child in the woods?
12. But I know what I saw. Philip told the truth.
You were a child.
Yeah.
And what were you doing there? In the woods?
Living there?
I was living in the forest with my mother.
They were outlaws.
Prior Remigius is the most trustworthy witness we've seen today, and his statement was quite damning to Philip. The distant memories of an outlawed child cannot convince me otherwise.
He fathered a child!
Let him go!
He would never do that!
And yet, Lady Aliena is right. We do not know enough to judge him as harshly as you proposed, Bishop Waileran.
Good.
You are right, Bishop Henry. As I said, it is not up to us to judge this man. Philip of Gwynedd has pleaded innocent, but how innocent is he? We ask God for his judgment. As Bishop of Kingsbridge and Shiring, I demand an ordeal by fire.
This is madness!
Philip of Gwynedd will be tried and judged at the stake.
You're gonna burn him.
If he is innocent, God will save him from the flames.
That is so messed up.
If he is not, then he will burn as the heretic and sinner God has declared him to be.
No!
They're gonna burn him alive.
Waileran, by God! Not this time.
It's her.
I saw the child and Francis. I was there. Philip is not the child's father. He is a fool, but he is a good man.
Then who is the father?
It is me.
Jonathan never knew.
They are all in this together. This woman is a witch and an outlaw, living in sin with a thief. He was hanged in Shiring 30 years ago.
He was not a thief. He was a good man.
Do we have
You
the
murdered him, Waileran, by God.
Do we have the chalice with
What
us?
is this nonsense?
He was a thief. He stole a golden chalice and melted it down and sold it.
Please have it with us.
What chalice?
The chalice of the Eucharist. He stole it from the Cathedral of Kingsbridge.
Sacrilege.
Yes, Friar James of Kingsbridge caught him red-handed.
Confessed to me he lied. Show chalice. Let's show it.
Is that the chalice? You said it was melted down and sold.
Fall not for their lies. That could be any chalice. This does not prove a thing.
Where did you find this chalice?
In a secret chamber. We believe Prior James hid it because he felt guilty for falsely accusing Jack's father.
What proof do you have?
He told me. The night the cathedral burned down, I was there, I saw him.
Prior James died weeks before that.
It didn't.
No, he did not.
Bishop Henry, he speaks the truth.
Remigius
Order!
is going away.
I will give you until sunset to produce a witness who can prove your accusations against Bishop Waileran. Not just this chalice. If you fail to do this, I will make sure you are tried for defamation.
Oh my god.
Philip of Gwynedd, you will stay under arrest. The trial recommences at sunset.
We need a witness.
But
What are you doing there?
I've seen you draw up plans for a cathedral. Maybe we can do something similar to find our witness.
What?
Let's see. Your father.
He looks just like you.
My grandmother said he did.
And Bishop Waileran. What are the connections? Maybe, by exploring them, we can find a witness.
Good idea.
Jonathan is wise. Oh, I have to do something.
Jack's father. If he was still with us, he could be our witness.
True.
Maybe he still can.
How?
Bishop Waileran is at the center of all this.
If my father had not come to England, none of this would have happened.
Perhaps.
Or maybe it would have happened to someone else.
Yeah.
That's true. Waleran would have hurt others. He's responsible for all this. And we'll prove that.
What am I supposed to do?
Mother says Waleran was behind my father's death.
And she said he wasn't alone. There were 3 men responsible for your father's death. Bishop Waleran, Percy Hamley, back then he was the Sheriff of Shiring, and Prior James of Kingsbridge.
Both of them are dead, possibly.
If they were all there, then they were all witnesses.
And only Waleran's still alive.
Hardly a coincidence. Why would these 3 men work together to falsely accuse your father?
He was on the White Ship. No one survived that night. No one lived to tell the story.
Yes. He was the sole survivor.
And then they killed him. But why?
He saw something. The ship was not an accident, maybe. It wasn't an accident.
And what about the ship? Why would Waleran, Percy, and James be concerned about the White Ship?
The son and heir of King Henry was on board. So were other possible heirs and other members of the royal household. I heard that Stephen was supposed to be on the ship as well, but became ill.
So they wanted to kill Stephen?
He was the only male heir. The only threats were the king's daughter Maud and her half-brother Earl Robert, and they've been at war ever since.
And your father, Earl Bartholomew. He was a threat. He tried to stop Stephen and paid for that with his life. Maybe my father saw something on the White Ship. Proof that Stephen was involved.
Exactly.
What about the king?
Stephen always claimed that it had been God's will that he was not on that ship. That he remained as the only male heir.
That wasn't God. I bet Stephen had a hand in the sinking of the ship.
Pretty sure.
Now imagine what would have happened if he had learned that someone survived. Someone who might have seen what really happened that night. If Stephen was responsible for the sinking of the White Ship, then he may have wanted the only witness of what really happened to disappear.
Exactly.
But he wouldn't have done it himself, of course.
No.
Would have been help with these guys.
If the White Ship is involved, then it's likely that Waleran was told by King Stephen to murder your father.
But he was not king back then. Why would Waleran listen to him?
He was promised to become bishop.
Of course.
Remember, Bishop Henry is Stephen's brother, and back then he was already one of the most influential clerics in all of England.
So many people to remember.
But if Bishop Henry is in on all this, what chance do we have to turn this trial around?
It is a public trial. All we want is for Philip to go free. We find a witness to expose Waleran. Henry would have to play along to appear innocent.
True.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
It's our best shot.
Yeah. I need to save, by the way. I haven't saved in a long time.
Do you think the king told James to arrest my father?
No. I find it much more likely that James was instructed to frame your father by Waleran, his superior. As Archdeacon, Waleran was much more involved in politics than James would have been.
So, King and Percy
Do you think Stephen would have approached Percy directly?
Because of the White Ship? To help him cover up his tracks?
I don't think so. I think it's more likely that Waleran contacted Percy. Just like he did when he wanted Percy to arrest my father. Percy Hamley was poisoned.
By Waleran.
One less witness that knew about Waleran.
And Waleran probably wanted William to become Earl. He was easier to control than his father.
What about Regan Hamley? She survived.
She was taken to her townhouse in Winchester, and in her condition, she might not be able to help at all.
Oh my god, this is getting hard. What am I supposed to do? Jack's father and Percy.
Percy Hamley was the sheriff of Shiring. Well, he could have ordered your father to be hanged.
But he was arrested and held in Kingsbridge first. Prior James claimed that my father had committed theft.
Jack's father and Prior.
James was the prior of Kingsbridge.
That's where they say your father stole the chalice, melted it and sold it.
But we know that's not true.
As we found it, Philip recognized the chalice.
But Bishop Henry wants a witness. The chalice isn't enough.
This is hard. What am I
But it's an
supposed to...
important lead for us.
Yes. The challenge and the king.
I think we're getting closer.
Soon there, soon there.
Maybe Stephen never came up with the plan to hang your father.
You mean Waleran did it because he heard rumors and wanted to get closer to Stephen and Bishop Henry? Maybe.
So many threads now to connect here. Wow. The challenge and Prior James.
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it. But instead, James himself hid it in Kingsbridge, in the crypt.
We found his scourge in a bed down there.
That secret chamber is important.
Yes. The king and secret chamber.
Do you think that the king knew about this secret room?
No,
I like this old dialogue.
I'm sure if Waleran didn't know, the king didn't know either.
It all depends on which one.
And Waleran looks
pick.
genuinely surprised when I mentioned it.
Secret chamber.
We're close.
Secret chamber and the ship.
All these years, there was proof hidden beneath our cathedral that the sinking of the White Ship was no accident. Proof that the whole war was started by cowardly men who were after the throne.
All of this happened because of that. The chalice and the same chamber.
Why was the chalice hidden? And by whom?
You said Prior James was full of regret. He probably couldn't just destroy the chalice. Not even after he used it to frame your father. It was the chalice of the Eucharist, after all. And a token for what he did. Now, what about Prior James?
Prior James and the chamber.
Everyone thought Prior James was dead. That he broke into the ice. And now we know he was hidden away.
Why did his monks believe he was dead?
Sub-Prior Remigius told everyone he had found James' rosary by the river. So everyone thought the body had been washed away. They buried an empty casket.
But how is Remigius involved?
Philip told me that Remigius was there when Waleran made Philip prior. Waleran and Remigius knew each other.
Okay.
That explains why Waleran later made Remigius prior of Shiring.
And Remigius recognized my mother when we arrived in Kingsbridge. He must have been there at the time my father was arrested. I think Remigius knows all about this.
Is it possible that Waleran told Remigius to make Prior James disappear when James began to talk about what they'd done?
Possibly.
When James started talking to the devil.
But for some reason, Remigius hid him away. But Waleran never knew. Yes, that explains why he really didn't believe you. When you said you had seen James in the fire.
Where James died after all. And Remigius thought no one knew.
We have to find Remigius. He's our witness.
We might need to turn him around. To see
Let's
if we can-
hurry. It's getting dark already.
Using
The trial will continue soon.
People know you two. You shouldn't walk around Shiring like that.
He's right.
I'll go look for him.
Whoa. I'm gonna play as Jonathan.
Take care of yourself. And Jonathan,
Yes?
we will talk later about what was said today. About Tom.
Yes.
All right. Remigius. Now where are you?
We're playing as a Jonathan, that's so cool. Pyre, stuck with them.
No one may approach the pyre.
Why not?
Bishop Henry's orders.
Oh, all right.
Ask about Remigius.
Have you seen Father Remigius, the Prior of Shiring?
He was here a moment ago.
Where's he now?
What do you want with him? Yeah, what do you want with him?
Oh, come on.
Oh, forget it. He was here.
Massive people get...
They saw him. He can't have gone far.
Okay, at Pyre. Large house.
Hello?
Tavern district. Can ask them about Remigius.
I don't see anyone here.
St. George.
Everyone left for the trial, it seems.
What can I... Let me click something here. This is the only thing I can really choose.
Do you want to go in, Father?
No, not yet. Thank you.
Are you not with Prior Philip?
Yes, I am.
I pray they'll set him free.
He's a good man.
He is a heretic!
You're fools! Look at yourselves! Who are you to judge a man who has never hurt anyone?
Forgive them, Father.
We don't judge him, but God will!
By burning him. There is. I saw you, man. I saw you.
Remigius? I don't think he's here.
But he just witnessed against Philip. How can we actually turn him around?
Wait. Was that him? I think I saw him.
What? Who's following him? Man with the child.
Have you seen a priest walk through here? Father Remigius?
No, sorry, I haven't.
All right.
That's Alfred!
Hey.
That's Alfred!
Yes?
You're Jonathan, right?
Yes, I am. And who are you?
Never mind, but there's something you should know. Tom Builder. He left you behind because your mother died. He had no way to feed you. He thought he had no other choice.
Well,
how do you know all this?
They are brothers, right?
He went looking for you an hour later, but you were gone. And when he finally found you in Kingsbridge, he was there for you ever since. But he thought he'd lost the right to be your father.
Just who are you?
Just remember what I said. I pray they won't burn Philip. He's a good man.
Can we go home, Daddy?
Yes. Let's go home.
I mean, Alfred is Tom's son. Yeah. Maybe they are half-brothers.
Hello? The door's open. Is anyone there?
You had one task.
By God! No!
Our bishop is very
Timothy.
displeased.
Help him.
What are you doing?
I'm doing what is asked of me.
Stop it!
We can't help him. Damn it. There we go.
No! Stay away!
This
concern you! No!
Who told you to do this?
No one!
Well, after that, Remigius might help us. After that, he might help us.
Why did he do this to you?
I will tell you. I will tell everyone.
This was perfect.
Do you have a witness?
Father Remigius, Prior of Shiring.
Where is Timothy?
You see,
What they told you is true.
Waleran was the
Bishop
one.
Waleran wanted the jongleur Jacques Cherbourg dead. He ordered our Prior James to frame him. And so he did.
He's telling everything.
This is a lie!
Is it?
James lost his mind because of what he did for you. He was about to tell everyone the truth. And then you ordered me to kill him.
Nonsense!
Let him speak.
I couldn't do it. I hit him, but he died in the fire.
Okay, so Remigius.
Jack saw him. It was him.
Remigius
I found the bones after the fire, and I buried them.
kept James alive.
You should put an end to this, Henry. You really should.
Why would I?
You should stop this, for your own sake. You knew about all this.
Why would I care if that jongleur lived or died?
Your brother cared. The jongleur survived the sinking of the White Ship. He saw how your brother's men killed the king's family so that he could take the throne.
This is preposterous.
He's trying to
Bishop Henry and King Stephen
act
ordered
innocent.
us to kill the man. You want the truth? That's the truth. Right there.
It is not.
Regan.
Waleran is a liar.
Regan Hamley.
Who is she?
This is so freaking intense.
I have waited long enough for this day. It is time I raise my voice. The woman, Ellen, she spoke the truth. 3 men
Wow.
were responsible for the death of the jongleur.
She's actually
James,
helping us.
the Prior of Kingsbridge. The Sheriff, my husband,
Wow.
Percy Hamley.
And
But it was Waleran who was behind it. And only Waleran.
damn.
No!
He had heard rumors about the White Ship, about our king. He had hoped to win the king's favor by hanging an innocent man.
This is
But
going.
it was not just me.
This is
They
perfect.
all knew.
Take him away.
Justice served.
This is for taking my husband's life.
It was Waleran.
Oh, we did it. It's over.
Is it really?
Yes, it's over.
Thank you, Lady Hamley.
This monk must learn his lesson.
The Pope would agree. This trial is not over. Philip pleaded not guilty, but he challenged the teachings and the authority of the Church. The ordeal of fire will take place. To show that the Church is not above God, to show that my brother, the King of the English, is not above God. Not we, but God shall judge this man.
This is
God.
madness! No! He can't do this!
Philip! No! You cannot do this!
This is now a matter of the church, Lady Aliena. My brother, the king, and I
Oh my God.
accepted the traitor Waleran into our midst. We were fools and sinners, even if we did not know. I pray that our Lord will save Philip from these flames.
That's not.
For his salvation shall be a salvation for all of us sinners.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Light the pyre!
I just have an idea. Maybe it will start to rain.
My God, there must be something we can do!
Stop this madness!
Don't end the chapter. Don't end the Damn it. Hope you enjoyed. I really pray that Philip won't die. I have an idea that maybe the rain will come after the drought, you know, and save him. See you in the last chapter, the end of this series, in the next chapter, next video. Never ever forget to stay awesome. Toodeloo!